Howdy, it's some dick online. Today I want to talk about the GOP healthcare bill. And I use that term healthcare bill loosely because I guess my question is, how the hell do you call it a healthcare bill if what it does is take healthcare away from people instead of bringing healthcare to people? That kind of thing. I think we need to talk frankly a little bit about what exactly the Republicans stand for when it comes to social services. Because whether you're talking healthcare, whether you're talking Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, I mean, they've pretty much been against these systems from the beginning. Every time they propose a bill to shore up Social Security, to make it, they say, oh, we're going to make it last for the future. We're going to make it stronger. Every single time it includes slashing it. Every single time it includes, cutting benefits, taking money away from it. How the hell do you make something stronger by starving it? How do you make something stronger by gutting it? That's my question for you, for everybody. How the hell how do you even pretend, that you're interested in saving something while you're suffocating it to death? That to me is ridiculous. So the GOP healthcare bill, the CBO, Congressional Budget Office, is showing that suggests that 20 plus million people will end up with less insurance. 20 million people will end up with no insurance. That's a fuck of a lot of people that they're happy to cut. Now, it also includes a great big tax cut for the wealthy because, they needed that extra, what estimates are between $600 and $800 billion. Why the fuck do they think that's good somehow for people? I mean, if you got people that have nothing, or have, are struggling to get by, people that work their asses off for little, financial gain here. How are you helping them improve their lives by taking away their access to health care? Explain that one to me. That's what I'd like. I'd like somebody to explain that one to me. It kills me. It kills me. It kills me that this continues to happen. It kills me that we continue to have, I don't know, that there continues to be this question about who's really better for regular working people. When one side, literally every single time, what do? Oh, they're in office now, so what are their priorities? What are their top priorities? Well, my top priority is to do tax reform. And of course, when they say tax reform, that means tax cuts for the wealthy. And I mean it, for the wealthy. They want to get rid of the estate tax. That's, they like to call it the death tax. The estate tax is the thing that makes it so that we don't have royalty, so that we don't have an aristocracy that continues to be, as disgusting as it was. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's pretty disgusting. And in a lot of ways, because of policies over the course of the last 30 years, the rich have certainly done really, really well over the last, 30 plus years, 35 years, 40 years. They seem to be doing exceedingly better. And the rest of us are getting fucked. The rest of us are getting fucked. And this so-called healthcare bill is just another thing to continue on that Republican policy of, nope, we'll funnel money up to the rich by taking it away from regular people who need it. Because of the trickle-down economics theory. And I don't even understand how that theory is supposed to work. Because if you're a person who makes $20,000 a year, $25,000 a year, which is me, in my life, I don't think I've ever made more than $25,000 a year. How, I mean, that's the thing. Like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Explain to me how giving a $50,000 tax cut or more, some of these are like $250,000 will go to some wealthy person. Donald Trump, his own taxes, he's going to end up making a mint off of this. People like him. So there you go. Explain to me how taking money and resources away from people that work their ass off to make shit money and giving it to people who already have lots of money, lots of resources. Explain to me how that is better. Because you know what? If you have $10,000 and you give it to the person that makes $25,000, or you give it to the person that makes millions of dollars, the person who makes $25,000 is going to spend that money. The person who makes millions of dollars is going to put it in the bank, maybe invest it. But when you invest money, I mean, it's not like you're investing money and creating jobs for that person at $25,000. It's not like that $10,000 is going to go to pay half a salary for someone else. They like to create this. They like to say that that's what it is. Oh, wow, they'll use the money to create jobs. They generally don't. They use the money to create more wealth for themselves. So, getting back to it, the healthcare bill. The healthcare bill. I don't even understand it. I just don't even understand it. I don't understand how this can be proposed as an actual healthcare bill, as this can be some kind of solution, for the healthcare problems we're having. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not going to say that Obamacare was the greatest thing ever. In fact, I think they should have done other things. They brought Republicans in, if you remember. The Republicans are now complaining that, the Democrats don't even want to try. Well, they don't let them debate anything. They don't let them talk about it. Oh, but it's them, and they're the problem. We remember the first time the Democrats did it without a single Republican vote, and they did it behind closed doors. Well, kind of. It was over a year of debate, of open debate. I remember, I watched as Barack Obama sat down with all those senators, a bunch of Republican senators, and single-handedly debated them and made them all look like idiots because none of their arguments held water. You can probably still find that video on YouTube. They debated it for over a year. There were, dozens? Over 100, I think, Republican amendments to the bill. And then, not a single one of them voted for it. So, why the hell are we putting your shit amendments on this bill if you're not going to vote? They're not going to support it anyway. So the Democrats are doing everything they can to be reasonable during the first thing, and the Republicans have done everything they can to sabotage it. So then, after the House put Republican amendments on it, and the Republicans didn't vote a single vote for it, and the Senate put Republican amendments on it, and the Republicans didn't vote for a single vote, then it went to the conference committee, which basically takes the two versions and reconciles them together. And that's the thing that happened behind closed doors. And then they still didn't vote on it. Not a single Republican vote. And then after it was implemented, they spent all their time sabotaging it. What do I mean by sabotaging it? Well, I mean, a lot of them didn't sign up for the exchanges. A lot of them didn't sign up for Medicare or Medicaid expansion. So they're denying the people in their states, a lot of these Republican governors, are denying people the services that are now available to them, while at the same time complaining that people can't get the services that are available to them. This is the saboteur showing you that the machine doesn't work. It's the arsonist showing you that the building is on fire, and then complaining that it's somehow your fault. It's easy. It's easy to show how things don't work if you are the one who is constantly ruining them. It's easy to do that. You know, I genuinely do not understand the Republican platform sometimes. Government doesn't work for you. Vote for me and I'll prove it. How the fuck does that even work? So, once again, the Republican healthcare bill, it's like everything else. It's designed to suck resources away from us working class stiffs. You know, oh, you finally got a benefit. Well, we don't like it when regular people get benefits because we prefer to save that money to give away as giant subsidies to big corporations in the form of tax cuts. By the way, every time they say it's going to be a tax cut or tax credit, tax credits, that's what I wanted to say. Anytime it's a tax credit, oh wow, we'll just reimburse with tax credits. Generally speaking, that's something where you have to have money up front and then get it back in your taxes. So if you're making $25,000 a year or less, like myself, you don't have the frickin' money up front. I don't have the money to get back at the end of the year, so I can't make the investment. You know, maybe I shouldn't buy that cell phone so I can afford healthcare. Give me a break. You know, cell phone costs a couple of $100. Healthcare costs, yeah, quite a bit more than that, don't you think? Yeah, it just pisses me off. I'm rambling for a little bit too long on this one. But, yeah, I think we're going to call it. So, the Republican healthcare bill is designed to fuck us all over, take healthcare away. Big shocker. I'm more than happy to go into a little more depth on this stuff. I guess this is just a rant. Anyway, some dick online. That's my opinion.